Close your eyes and imagine a life where your mind stands firm like a mountain in the midst of storms, your heart is filled with peace, and every action you take brings you closer to the true meaning of life. A life not just for mere survival, but for truly living fully, powerfully, and serenely. This isn't some distant dream, it's a gift that Stoic philosophy offers us. Among the masters of this wisdom stands Seneca, the great Roman philosopher. Seneca didn't just write about wisdom, he lived it. Through his letters and essays, he left us a roadmap to inner freedom, mental strength, and contentment in simplicity. In today's video, we'll uncover 10 invaluable life lessons from Seneca, principles that are not mere theory but practical tools you can apply to your daily life. These aren't cliched pieces of advice, they are keys to overcoming challenges, embracing uncertainty, and living a truly meaningful life. But before we dive deeper, remember this: you're not alone on this journey. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to ensure you don't miss any of our future videos. This is a space where we learn and practice together to create a life worth living. If you find value in today's content, give it a like and share it to spread this powerful philosophy to more people. Now, ask yourself, are you truly living, or are you merely surviving in the relentless rush of life? If today were your last, would you be proud of the way you've lived? Reflect on these questions as we embark on this journey. Seneca's 10 life lessons won't just change the way you see the world, they'll awaken a strength within you that you may have forgotten you had. Are you ready for this journey to touch your heart and transform your life? Let's begin. So Lesson 1. Strengthen your mind. Every day, imagine this: your mind is like a sword. If left untouched, it dulls, becoming ineffective against the challenges life throws your way. But if sharpened daily, it becomes an unbreakable tool, cutting through confusion, stress, and adversity. Seneca, the great Stoic master, taught us that our mind is our most valuable asset, one that determines how we perceive the world, respond to hardship, and ultimately, how we live. Why is mental strength so important? Life is unpredictable. Challenges, both big and small, come at us unexpectedly. Without a resilient mind, these difficulties can overwhelm us. But a strong mind doesn't just endure, it thrives in adversity, transforming obstacles into opportunities for growth. As Seneca wisely said, difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor strengthens the body. How can you strengthen your mind every day? First, embrace discomfort. Growth lies just beyond your comfort zone. Start small. Push through moments of doubt or hesitation, whether it's tackling a tough project, having an uncomfortable conversation, or waking up early to pursue a goal. Each time you lean into discomfort, you're training your mind to face bigger challenges with clarity and courage. Second, commit to lifelong learning. Seneca reminded us, as long as you live, keep learning how to live. Read thought-provoking material, reflect on your experiences, and seek perspectives that challenge your beliefs. Every new idea expands your mind, making it more adaptable and resilient. Lastly, practice mindfulness. Take a few moments each day to ground yourself, whether through meditation, journaling, or simply pausing to breathe. This not only calms your mind, but also sharpens your ability to focus on what truly matters. Practical step for today. Ask yourself, what can I do today to strengthen my mind? Maybe it's reading a chapter of a book, completing a challenging task, or reflecting on a recent setback to extract its lessons. Even small actions, done consistently, build an unshakable mental foundation. So, let me ask you, when was the last time you deliberately stepped out of your comfort zone to grow stronger? What habits are you cultivating to ensure your mind is prepared for life's storms? Your mind is your greatest weapon. Sharpen it daily, and you'll find that life's difficulties no longer break you, they shape you. Ready to take the first step? Let's keep going. So Lesson 2. Heal from within. We all carry invisible burdens, regrets from the past, fears about the future, and the weight of expectations we impose on ourselves. These burdens slowly drain our energy and cloud our ability to live fully in the present. But true healing doesn't come from external solutions, it begins from within. Seneca, the master of Stoic wisdom, reminds us, true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence on the future. Why is healing from within so important? Many of us live as prisoners of time. We replay past mistakes, wishing we could rewrite them, or we obsess over future uncertainties, hoping to control what hasn't even happened. This mental tug-of-war prevents us from fully engaging with the one thing we truly have, this moment. Healing begins the moment we release the grip of the past and stop fearing what's ahead. How can you start healing from within? First, practice self-compassion. We often treat ourselves with harsher judgment than we would anyone else. Imagine speaking to yourself as you would to a close friend, with kindness, understanding, and encouragement. Acknowledge your mistakes, learn from them, and give yourself permission to move forward. Second, let go of what you can't control. Much of our emotional suffering stems from trying to influence things beyond our power, other people's actions, outcomes of situations, or even how we're perceived. Seneca taught, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Focus instead on what is within your grasp, your thoughts, actions, and responses. Third, ground yourself in the present. Engage fully with what's in front of you, whether it's savoring a meal, listening to a loved one, or simply pausing to breathe. When your mind starts wandering to regrets or anxieties, gently bring it back to the now. This moment is where life truly happens. Practical step for today. Take a moment to identify one burden you're ready to release, whether it's guilt, fear, or an unrealistic expectation. Write it down, reflect on it, and consciously let it go. This small act creates space for peace to grow. So, let me ask you, what part of your past are you ready to forgive yourself for? What fear can you release today to free your mind? Healing is not about erasing your past or ignoring the future. It's about finding peace in the present. Begin within, and you'll find a wellspring of calm and clarity waiting for you. Ready to take that step? Let's move forward. Lesson 3. Live in the present. Have you ever caught yourself rushing through life only to realize you barely remember the moments that truly mattered? Maybe you've eaten meals while scrolling through your phone, walked through beautiful places while lost in thought, or spent time with loved ones but weren't fully present. These moments slip away like sand through our fingers, leaving us yearning for connection and meaning. Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, reminds us, "He suffers more than necessary who suffers before it is necessary." In other words, much of our stress and unhappiness comes not from the present moment, but from our mind's habit of living elsewhere. Why is living in the present so powerful? The present moment is the only reality we truly have. The past is unchangeable, and the future is uncertain. Yet, so often, we allow our minds to dwell on regrets or anxieties, robbing us of the joy and peace that exists right here, right now. Living in the present allows us to fully experience life, find clarity amidst chaos, and savor the beauty of the simplest moments. How can you start living in the present? First, simplify your approach to life. Seneca taught, "Eat when hungry, sleep when tired." This may sound simplistic, but how often do we neglect these basic needs? We skip meals to finish work or push through exhaustion instead of resting. By listening to your body and mind, you ground yourself in the present and care for what truly matters. Second, practice mindfulness in daily activities. Whether you're eating, walking, or having a conversation, immerse yourself fully. Notice the taste of your food, the sound of your footsteps, or the tone in someone's voice. When your mind starts to wander, gently bring it back. This deliberate focus transforms ordinary moments into meaningful experiences. Third, release unnecessary mental weight. Seneca said, "Life is long if you know how to use it." Stop wasting time replaying old mistakes or worrying about things you can't control. Instead, direct your energy toward what you can influence and let the rest go. Practical step for today. Choose one daily activity to do mindfully. It could be as simple as eating a meal without distractions or taking a short walk while observing your surroundings. Notice how this small act of presence changes your experience. The ripple effects of presence. When you live in the present, your relationships deepen. You truly hear your loved ones, notice their emotions, and connect on a more profound level. Your work becomes more focused and effective because you're not distracted by mental clutter. Even moments of solitude transform into opportunities for peace and reflection. So, let me ask you, how often do you find your mind stuck in the past or worrying about the future? What could change if you gave yourself fully to the present moment, starting now? The truth is, the present moment is where life unfolds. It's where you find connection, clarity, and purpose. You don't need to wait for a perfect moment to live fully. This moment, right here, is enough. Ready to embrace it? Let's continue this journey. Lesson 4. Find fulfillment in your own approval. Have you ever felt the pressure to live up to someone else's expectations? Perhaps you've sought validation from your family, friends, or even strangers, hoping their approval would give your life meaning. But no matter how much praise you receive, it never seems to last. The truth is, as long as you rely on external validation to define your worth, you'll always feel a void. Seneca wisely said, "What progress have I made? I have begun to be a friend to myself." True fulfillment comes not from the applause of others, but from the quiet contentment of living in alignment with your own values. External validation is fleeting. It can be given one moment and taken away the next. When your sense of worth depends on others, you hand over your power, allowing their opinions to dictate how you feel about yourself. But when you seek fulfillment from within, you reclaim control over your happiness. You become unshakable, finding peace in who you are rather than in how others perceive you. How can you cultivate self-approval? 1. Define your values. Start by asking yourself, what do I truly stand for? What principles guide my life? These could be honesty, kindness, perseverance, or any value that resonates deeply with you. When you live according to these principles, your actions align with your inner truth, creating a sense of pride and satisfaction. 2. Silence your inner critic. Often, the harshest judgments don't come from others, but from within. You replay mistakes, magnify your flaws, and convince yourself you're not enough. But what if you spoke to yourself as you would to a dear friend? Acknowledge your imperfections, but also celebrate your strengths. Self-approval doesn't mean ignoring your faults, it means accepting them while recognizing your worth. 3. Detach from the need for praise. Seneca taught, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Instead of chasing compliments or avoiding criticism, focus on doing what you know is right. Praise may come, and criticism may sting, but neither should control your sense of self. 4. Celebrate your progress. Take time to reflect on your achievements, no matter how small. Did you keep a promise to yourself? Did you act with integrity in a challenging situation? These victories, however minor, are evidence of your growth and strength. Practical step for today. Write down 3 values that define who you are. Then, list one action you've taken recently that aligns with each value. This simple exercise will remind you of your worth and the fulfillment that comes from living authentically. The freedom of self-approval. When you stop chasing external validation, you free yourself from the exhausting cycle of trying to please everyone. Instead, you focus on living a life that feels meaningful to you. Relationships improve because you no longer seek approval from others. You share your authentic self with them instead. So, let me ask you, what would your life look like if you stopped depending on others' opinions for your happiness? What can you do today to honor your own values and approve of yourself? True fulfillment begins the moment you decide to become your own biggest supporter. Are you ready to reclaim your power and find contentment within? Let's move forward on this path. So lesson 5, embrace uncertainty. What if I told you that the very thing we fear most, uncertainty, is also the key to living a stronger, freer, and more fulfilling life? We often cling to control, trying desperately to map out every detail of the future, but life has a way of surprising us. Seneca, the master of Stoic wisdom, understood this well. He taught, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." The pain we feel about uncertainty doesn't come from the unknown itself, but from our refusal to embrace it. Why is embracing uncertainty so transformative? Life is inherently unpredictable. Plans fall apart, circumstances change, and outcomes rarely go exactly as we envision. When we resist this reality, we create unnecessary stress, frustration, and fear. But by accepting uncertainty as a natural part of life, we release the tension and allow ourselves to move forward with clarity and confidence. Uncertainty isn't the enemy. It's an opportunity to grow, adapt, and discover strength we didn't know we had. How can you learn to embrace uncertainty? 1. Focus on what you can control. Seneca reminds us, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." Similarly, it's not uncertainty itself, but our craving for control that causes suffering. Start by identifying what is within your power, your actions, mindset, and responses, and let go of the rest. When faced with an unpredictable situation, ask yourself, what can I do in this moment? 2. Prepare for the unexpected. The Stoics practiced premeditatio malorum, or premeditation of evils, a technique of imagining potential challenges in advance. This doesn't mean dwelling on worst-case scenarios, but calmly considering how you might handle them. For example, if you're worried about a career setback, think through your options and how you could adapt. By preparing mentally, you reduce fear and gain confidence in your ability to face whatever comes. 3. Reframe uncertainty as possibility. Instead of seeing the unknown as a threat, view it as a blank canvas full of potential. Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor strengthens the body. Each uncertain moment is a chance to learn, grow, and become more resilient." What new opportunities might this uncertainty bring into your life? 4. Practice gratitude for the present. When uncertainty feels overwhelming, anchor yourself in the present moment. Reflect on what you're grateful for right now, the people, experiences, and opportunities you already have. Gratitude shifts your focus away from fear of the unknown and toward the abundance of what's already in front of you. Practical step for today: take 5 minutes to write down one uncertainty that's been bothering you. Then identify one action you can take to address it and consciously let go of what you cannot control. The freedom of embracing uncertainty. When you stop resisting uncertainty, you free yourself from the mental chains of worry and fear. Instead of fighting life's unpredictability, you flow with it, finding strength in your ability to adapt. Relationships improve as you let go of unrealistic expectations. Your work becomes more creative when you accept that not every outcome can be planned. So, let me ask you, what's one area of your life where uncertainty is holding you back? How would your perspective shift if you viewed the unknown as an adventure rather than a threat? Life's greatest lessons often emerge from the moments we least expect. Embrace uncertainty, and you'll find not only strength, but also freedom. Ready to step into the unknown with courage? Let's continue this journey. To Lesson 6, limit your desires. In a world driven by consumerism, we're constantly told that more is better. More possessions, more status, more recognition. These are sold to us as the keys to happiness. Yet, despite having more than any generation before us, many of us feel unfulfilled and overwhelmed. Why? Because true happiness doesn't come from accumulating more. It comes from needing less. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, reminds us, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more. That is poor." Why is limiting desires so powerful? At its core, unrestrained desire is a trap. It creates a cycle where satisfaction is always just out of reach. You get the new car, the bigger house, or the latest gadget, and yet, the excitement quickly fades. Soon, you're chasing the next thing, believing that fulfillment lies somewhere ahead. But in truth, happiness doesn't come from owning more. It comes from appreciating what you already have. By limiting your desires, you break free from this endless cycle and find contentment in simplicity. How can you start limiting your desires? 1. Redefine wealth. Wealth isn't about how much you own, it's about how little you need to feel satisfied. Take stock of your life. What truly brings you joy? Is it the expensive items, or is it meaningful relationships, quiet moments of peace and a sense of purpose. Shift your focus from external possessions to internal fulfillment. 2. Practice voluntary simplicity. Seneca believed in the power of simplicity to cultivate freedom. Try reducing the clutter in your life, both physical and mental. Donate items you no longer need, simplify your routines, and focus on experiences over material goods. For example, instead of buying another outfit, invest time in a walk with a loved one or a quiet evening with a book. 3. Control your cravings. Desires often arise impulsively. When you feel the urge to buy or acquire something, pause and ask yourself, do I truly need this? Will it bring lasting value to my life? This moment of reflection helps you distinguish between fleeting wants and genuine needs. 4. Cultivate gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful antidote to excessive desire. Each day, take a moment to reflect on what you already have: your health, your relationships, your abilities. As Seneca said, the greatest wealth is a contented mind. Gratitude shifts your perspective from lack to abundance, helping you realize that you already have enough. Practical step for today. Choose one area of your life, your wardrobe, your daily routine, or your spending habits, and simplify it. Let go of what no longer serves you, and notice how it feels to embrace less. The freedom of limiting desires. When you reduce your desires, you gain more than just freedom from materialism. You gain clarity, peace, and a deeper connection to what truly matters. You stop measuring your worth by external possessions and start finding joy in the richness of life itself. Relationships deepen because you focus on people, not things. Time feels more abundant because you're no longer chasing after the next big purchase. So, let me ask you, what's one thing you're chasing right now that might not bring the happiness you expect? How would your life change if you focused less on having more and more on being content? True wealth lies in simplicity. By limiting your desires, you unlock the door to freedom and fulfillment. Ready to embrace the joy of needing less? Let's keep going. To lesson 7, value your time. Imagine holding a treasure that becomes smaller with every passing second, yet you cannot see it, touch it, or hold it back. That treasure is your time, the most precious resource you'll ever have. While money and possessions can be regained, time, once spent, is gone forever. Seneca, the Stoic master, urged us to reflect deeply on this truth. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Why is valuing your time so important? Time is life itself. Every moment wasted on trivial pursuits, procrastination, or mindless distractions is a piece of your life you'll never get back. Yet, many of us treat time as if it's infinite, saying, "I'll do it tomorrow," or "there's always next year." The hard truth is, none of us know how much time we have left. By learning to value your time, you gain the clarity to focus on what truly matters, aligning your actions with your purpose and living a life of meaning. How can you begin valuing your time? 1. Prioritize what matters most. Start by identifying your true priorities. Ask yourself, what brings me joy, fulfillment, or growth? Is it spending time with loved ones, pursuing a passion, or working toward a meaningful goal? Focus on these priorities and let go of activities that don't serve them. 2. Stop wasting time on the trivial. Seneca warned against the mindless pursuit of distractions. Think of how much time is spent scrolling through social media, binge-watching shows, or engaging in gossip. While occasional leisure is important, excessive time spent on these activities robs you of the opportunity to grow, connect, or contribute meaningfully. 3. Learn to say no. Every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. Be mindful of how you allocate your time. Before agreeing to commitments, ask yourself, does this align with my values? Is it worth my time? Saying no to what doesn't matter allows you to say yes to what truly does. 4. Live in the present. Time is often lost because we dwell on the past or worry about the future. Seneca reminds us, Life is long if you know how to use it. Instead of being consumed by regret or anxiety, anchor yourself in the present moment, fully experiencing what's in front of you. Practical step for today. Take a moment to audit your day. Write down how you spend your time and identify areas where it's being wasted. Then, choose one activity to replace with something meaningful, whether it's learning a new skill, spending time with family, or simply resting. The gift of valuing time. When you value your time, you transform your life. You stop drifting through days and start living with purpose. You nurture relationships, pursue passions, and find fulfillment in the small, meaningful moments. Life begins to feel less rushed and more intentional. So, let me ask you, what's one way you've been wasting time that you're ready to change? If today were your last, how would you want to spend it? Your time is your most precious asset. Spend it wisely, and you'll find that life feels fuller, richer, and more vibrant. Ready to reclaim your time and live with intention? Let's continue the journey. So lesson 8, cultivate meaningful relationships. Take a moment to reflect. Who are the people in your life that truly matter? Not just acquaintances or colleagues, but those whose presence fills your heart, whose words inspire you, and whose companionship gives your life depth and meaning. Relationships are the cornerstone of a fulfilling life, yet too often we take them for granted, allow misunderstandings to fester, or fail to invest the time they deserve. Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, believed in the profound importance of relationships, teaching us, life is for the service of others. Why are meaningful relationships so vital? Human beings are social creatures, wired for connection. Relationships give our lives joy, purpose, and a sense of belonging. However, the wrong kind of relationships, shallow, toxic, or one-sided, can drain your energy and leave you feeling isolated. By nurturing meaningful connections, you not only enrich your own life, but also become a source of strength and support for others. How can you cultivate meaningful relationships? 1. Be fully present. In today's fast-paced world, distractions are everywhere. How often have you half-listened to someone while scrolling on your phone or thinking about your to-do list? To build deeper connections, give people your undivided attention. When you're with someone, be with them fully. Listen to their words, observe their emotions, and show that you value their presence. 2. Practice empathy and understanding. Seneca said, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. Everyone carries unseen burdens, and misunderstandings often arise from unmet needs or unspoken pain. Instead of judging or reacting harshly, try to see the world through their eyes. Ask yourself, what might this person be going through? How can I respond with compassion?" 3. Communicate openly and honestly. Strong relationships are built on trust, and trust requires honesty. Share your feelings and thoughts openly, but also create space for others to do the same. This fosters mutual understanding and prevents small issues from growing into larger conflicts. 4. Invest time and effort. Relationships thrive when nurtured. Take time to connect with loved ones regularly, whether through a heartfelt conversation, a shared meal, or simply showing up when they need you. It's not about grand gestures. It's about consistent care and attention. Practical step for today. Choose one relationship in your life that feels distant or neglected. Reach out to that person today. Send a message, make a call, or plan a time to meet. Let them know they matter to you, and see how that small act of connection can spark something meaningful. The beauty of meaningful relationships. When you invest in your relationships, you create a ripple effect. Your kindness and attention inspire others to do the same, fostering a network of trust, love, and mutual support. You also discover that true happiness doesn't come from material possessions or accomplishments. It comes from the moments shared with those who matter most. So, let me ask you, who in your life needs to hear from you today? What can you do to deepen your connection with the people you care about most? At the end of your life, it won't be the money you made or the accolades you earned that you'll remember. It will be the love you gave and the relationships you built. Ready to strengthen those bonds? Let's move forward. Lesson 9. Accept death as a part of life. What if I told you that the secret to living a full, fearless life lies in facing the one thing we all avoid? Death. Most of us shy away from the thought, treating death as a distant, frightening shadow. Yet, Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, taught us to embrace death not with dread, but with clarity. He said, "He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a living man." By accepting death as a natural part of life, we unlock the freedom to live fully, without regret or fear. Why is accepting death so transformative? Death is the ultimate certainty. No one can escape it. But it's not death itself that robs us of peace. It's our fear of it. This fear keeps us from taking risks, loving deeply, and pursuing what truly matters. When we accept the inevitability of death, it stops being a source of anxiety and becomes a guide, reminding us to live with intention, urgency, and gratitude. How can you begin to accept death? 1. Reflect on mortality regularly. The Stoics practiced memento mori, or remember you must die, as a daily reminder of life's fragility. This isn't about dwelling on death morbidly, but about appreciating life's preciousness. Ask yourself, if today were my last day, would I be proud of how I've lived? This perspective brings clarity to what truly matters. 2. Redefine death as natural. Seneca reminds us, death is not an evil. What comes after death is not for us to fear. It is simply a return to nature. Just as we accept the cycle of seasons, we can accept death as a part of life's rhythm. Seeing death as a natural process rather than an enemy helps us approach it with calmness and understanding. 3. Focus on living well. Instead of fearing when or how you might die, channel your energy into how you're living now. Are you spending your time on what matters most? Your passions, your loved ones, your personal growth? When you live with purpose, death loses its sting, because every moment becomes meaningful. 4. Let go of control. Much of our fear of death comes from its unpredictability, but as the Stoics taught, we can't control when or how we die, only how we live. By accepting this lack of control, we free ourselves from worry and focus on what is within our power. The choices we make today. Practical step for today. Write a letter to yourself, imagining it's your last day. Reflect on what you've accomplished, the people you've loved, and the lessons you've learned. What are you proud of? What regrets would you let go of? This exercise can help you gain clarity on how to live more intentionally. The freedom of accepting death. When you accept death, you stop wasting time on trivial fears and distractions. You prioritize what matters, strengthen your relationships, and savor the present moment. Instead of dreading the inevitable, you learn to see life as a gift, not something to be feared, but something to be cherished. So, let me ask you, if today were your last, how would you spend it? What's one fear about death you're ready to let go of to live more fully? Accepting death isn't about giving up. It's about waking up to the beauty of life. By embracing this truth, you gain the courage to live with purpose and without regret. Ready to face life with newfound freedom? Let's continue. Lesson 10. Live for a higher purpose. What drives you to get out of bed each morning? Is it simply to work, earn, and repeat the same cycle day after day? Or is there something deeper, a reason that lights a fire in your soul and gives meaning to your existence? Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, believed that life without purpose is like a ship without a destination, drifting aimlessly in the vast sea of existence. He wrote, "The fruit of this life is a good character and acts for the common good." True fulfillment comes not from self-indulgence, but from contributing to something greater than yourself. Why is living for a higher purpose so transformative? A life driven by purpose transcends the mundane. When you dedicate yourself to a cause or ideal bigger than your own desires, you find meaning even in the face of adversity. Purpose gives you direction, fuels your resilience, and connects you to the world around you. Without it, success feels hollow and life can feel aimless. But with it, Every action becomes meaningful, and every challenge becomes an opportunity to grow and contribute. How can you live for a higher purpose? 1. Define your values and passions. Start by asking yourself, what do I truly care about? What kind of impact do I want to leave behind? Your purpose doesn't have to be grand. It could be nurturing your family, inspiring others, or making your community a better place. What matters is that it resonates deeply with you. 2. Serve others selflessly. Seneca reminds us, no one can live happily who has regard for himself alone and transforms everything into a question of his own utility. True purpose often involves uplifting others. Whether through acts of kindness, mentorship, or service, focus on how your actions can benefit the people and world around you. 3. Pursue your goals with intention. Once you've identified your purpose, align your daily actions with it. Break it down into achievable goals and work on them consistently. For instance, if your purpose is to educate, commit to learning and sharing knowledge every day. If it's to protect the environment, find ways to reduce waste and inspire others to do the same. 4. Accept setbacks as part of the journey. Living for a higher purpose doesn't mean life becomes easy. In fact, the greater the purpose, the more challenges you may face. But instead of seeing obstacles as roadblocks, view them as opportunities to strengthen your resolve. Seneca taught, difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor strengthens the body. Practical step for today. Take a few minutes to write down what you believe your higher purpose might be. Reflect on the values, causes, or goals that bring you the most fulfillment. Then, identify one small step you can take today to move closer to living that purpose. The beauty of living for a higher purpose. When you live with purpose, every action gains significance. You wake up with a sense of direction, knowing that your efforts contribute to something meaningful. Relationships deepen because they're built on shared values. Even the mundane becomes meaningful when seen through the lens of purpose. So, let me ask you, what legacy do you want to leave behind for the world? How can you align your daily actions with the purpose that truly fulfills you? Your purpose is your compass in life. It guides you, strengthens you, and connects you to something greater. By living for a higher purpose, you transcend the ordinary and discover the extraordinary potential within you. Ready to chart your course? Let's move forward. Life is a journey, and the wisdom of Seneca serves as a timeless guide to navigating its challenges with strength, clarity, and purpose. These 10 lessons are more than just words. They are tools to help you find meaning, cultivate resilience, and live a life that truly matters. As you reflect on these lessons, remember that change begins with small, consistent actions. Apply even one principle today and watch how it transforms your mindset and your life. Whether it's strengthening your mind, letting go of fear, or living for a higher purpose, each step you take brings you closer to becoming the person you're meant to be. If this video resonated with you, please don't keep it to yourself. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to join our growing community of wisdom seekers. Share this video with friends and loved ones who could benefit from Seneca's teachings. Together, we can spread the light of Stoic philosophy. Lastly, I'd love to hear from you. Which lesson resonated with you the most? Leave a comment below and let's continue the conversation. Your journey doesn't end here. It begins. Let's walk this path of growth and purpose together. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.